Just stopping by the farm and getting 2 large things of local honey that I really enjoy. Let me just put this in the truck real quick. And then, do you want to learn something? Today I was at the gym and I was doing a workout, a dumbbell workout, and there's like these slots that you put the dumbbells in. A guy was on a bench in front of where I put the dumbbells in the slots, and I put them in the wrong slot. And the guy said to me, he says, "My dumbbells go there." And I said, "Oh," I said, I'm putting them in the wrong slot." And he said to me, "Putting them in the wrong slot," and he snickered. He goes, "The story of my life." And I thought to myself, I understand self-deprecating humor. Let me get in the truck. Hold on. It's getting chilly out here. I'm actually kind of cold. I understand the self-deprecating humor. Story of my life. Story of my life. And let me just put this up here. And I know he meant it as a joke. Like, it was funny. Story of my life. But I looked at the guy and his head was hanging down low and he looked like he was kind of depressed. And I went over to my bench and, finished my sets. And I looked over at him and he was just like sitting there and looked like a guy who would say, "Story of my life." And I kind of felt bad for the guy. But this was not a time to be preachy or talk to him about anything. He was a guy like my age. He was like, I'd say maybe a little bit older, maybe early 60s. Self-deprecation. Poking fun at yourself. Now, there's a difference. There's a difference between having a good sense of humor and having humor at your own expense. And I thought that's probably his life, his lifestyle. He's made a lifestyle out of putting himself down. Did you ever do this? 30 years ago, I was at a business networking meeting, and I remember putting a wrong date on a calendar, and one of the ladies that used to go to this meeting 30 years ago, and I was 30 years old now, she says, "Oh, that's the wrong date." And I said, "Oh, I'm such an ass." And she said, "Stop." I said, "What?" She says, "Never call yourself a name that you would not allow someone else to call you." I said, "Explain, please." She said, "What if someone came up to you and said, 'You're such an ass'? What would you do?" I'm like, "Well, those are kind of like fighting words." She says, "But you just called yourself an ass." I said, "I did, didn't I?" See, I can learn something from ladies. Some of you guys can't do that. Keep an open mind now. You told me that you were willing to learn something today. Self-deprecation is very unattractive. It pushes people away from you. It doesn't draw them to you. It's as if you are reading a script in which there is a losing character, or a character that always loses. That's not you, is it? You're attractive, you're smart, you are resourceful. You're not a loser, you don't lose, you don't fail. And if you do, you don't say, "I'm such a loser, I'm such a failure, I'm such an ass." Put it in the wrong slot. The story of my life. Never put yourself down to make anyone else laugh, and stop calling yourself names that you would never allow anyone else to call you. Does that make sense? You see, you learned something today, didn't you?